Good morning dear students. In the previous class we learnt about angles and types of angles. Today we are going to learn about quadrilaterals and kinds of quadrilaterals, different kinds of quadrilateral. So first, what do you mean by quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a four-sided polygon. So a polygon is a closed curve with line segments. So here this is a quadrilateral. So four-sided polygon is called as a quadrilateral. So in this quadrilateral, what are the kinds of quadrilateral we get? So here, first one, parallelogram. So in the quadrilateral, first one, parallelogram. So here, what do you mean by parallelogram? So parallelogram is a quadrilateral with the pair of opposite sides are parallel. So here, parallelogram. See here, the diagram, four-sided, it is also a four-sided polygon. The opposite sides are parallel. Pair of opposite sides are parallel. See here. This is the opposite sides and this is the opposite sides. Pair of opposite sides. These two sides. If I write here A, B, C, D. AB is parallel to CD. What do you mean by parallel? Parallel lines and a plane which does not meet each other. So how much length if you extend also, it will not meet each other. So here AB is parallel to DC and AD is parallel to BC. Pair of opposite sides are parallel means it is called as a parallelogram. So here, what are the properties of parallelogram? Opposite sides are equal. So here, opposite sides are equal and parallel. Equal and parallel. So, next one, opposite angles are equal. So, here A angle is equal to C angle, D angle is equal to B angle. So, here opposite angles are equal. Opposite angles are equal. Another property is the diagonal bisect each other. What do you mean by diagonal? If you join the opposite vertices, it is called as a diagonal. So A and C, if I join A and C, this is a AC is a diagonal and here B and D. BD if you join, this is a diagonal. These two diagonals bisect each other at the point O. So here diagonals bisects each other. So diagonals bisect each other. So this is about parallelogram. Next we move to the rectangle. So here the next one, rectangle. So here rectangle. What do you mean by rectangle? In your previous class you learnt about rectangle. So what is the shape of a rectangle? So here if you draw the opposite sides are parallel. If the opposite sides are parallel, it is called as a rectangle. So dear students, here this is a rectangle. You know this figure. So here A, B, C, D. So a rectangle is a quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. What do you mean by parallelogram? Opposite sides are parallel to each other. So a pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. Here AB is parallel to DC, AD is parallel to BC. So here the angle, each angle, so all the four angles is 90 degree. So here 90 degree means right angle. So here it is also a parallelogram. A rectangle is a type of parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. If it is 5 cm means this is also 5 cm. If it is 4 cm means BC also 4 cm. So opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. So here what are the properties of rectangle? Here opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. So opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. Second one, all the angles are right angles. All the four angles are 90 degree or you can 90 degree or right angle. Right angle. And then here also the diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. So here diagonals bisect each other. If you draw the diagonals AC and BD, so these two diagonals bisect each other. These are the properties of rectangle. Once again I will repeat. So a rectangle is a type of quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. So parallelogram means opposite sides are parallel to each other. In rectangle, opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. And then all the four angles A, B, C, D are right angles. Then diagonals bisect each other. So the next quadrilateral or parallelogram, we move to the square. So here you know about square. In your fifth and fourth in your lower classes you learnt about the rectangle and square. So how is the shape of a square? Square is all the sides are equal in length. So here what is it? All the sides are equal in length. So here this is a square. If I take K, L, M, N. So here K, I name the square K, L, M, N. So here a square is also a quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. Parallelogram means again it is the opposite sides are parallel to each other. KL is parallel to NM. KN is parallel to LN. So here pair of opposite sides are parallel. And then in the square all the sides are equal in length. So in rectangle opposite sides are equal in length. In the square all the sides are equal in length and all the angles are right angles. Here 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree and then here 90 degree. And in this case also diagonals bisect each other. If you draw the line to the opposite vertices K and M, so diagonals bisect each other. So here diagonals bisect each other. So first one, all the sides are equal in length. Equal in length. Opposite sides are parallel to each other. Opposite sides are parallel. Then all the angles are right angles. Those are right angles. All the angles means four angles. So all the angles are right angles. Then diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other. So this is a type of quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. So the next we will move to the rhombus. So here next one, rhombus. Rhombus is also a quadrilateral as well as a parallelogram. So a rhombus is a parallelogram with sides of equal length. So like a square. Square is also a rhombus here. Rhombus, the diagonals bisect at right angles. So See here, this is a rhombus. A rhombus is also a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means four-sided polygon. Here also four-sided sides are there. So four-sided polygon and a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. See, this is parallel to this. So if I write here E, F, G, H. So the letters E, F, G, H continuously have to be. So here EF is parallel to HG and then EH is parallel to FG. So here opposite sides are parallel to each other and it is also a quadrilateral and as well as a parallelogram. What are the parallelogram properties is that everything is applicable for the rhombus also. So here in this case rhombus bisect at right angles. So here perpendicular to each other. So here this is 90 degree. So perpendicular. So in the previous class I said when the two lines are the angle between the intersecting two lines are 90 degree means then it is perpendicular to each other. For example, if I write here like this. So here A, B, C. So AB is perpendicular to AC. So AB perpendicular to AC. So this we have learnt in the previous class. So here the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So here again opposite sides are parallel and equal in length. Opposite sides are parallel and equal in length and then diagonals bisect at perpendicular are perpendicular to each other. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So diagonals are perpendicular to each other. This is a rhombus. So here also all the four angles are at right angles. So all the sides are equal in length. Then diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So the next one we will move to the trapezium. So here the next one trapezium. So trapezium it is a quadrilateral but not a parallelogram. Why it is not a parallelogram means here only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. So another pair it is not a parallel. See here if you go on extend these lines, these two pairs, so it will meet each other. So here AD is not parallel to BC. These two lines will meet each other if you go on extend the line. But here AB is parallel to DC. So these opposite sides are, one pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. So here trapezium is a quadrilateral. It is a quadrilateral. Then one pair of opposite sides. One pair of opposite sides are parallel. So here one pair of opposite sides are parallel. And another one, here you know the adjacent angles. In the previous class we learnt about the adjacent angles. So here angle here A and B. A and B are adjacent angles. So adjacent angles of a trapezium are supplementary. You know the meaning of supplementary. Supplementary means here when two angles, the sum of the two angles is 180 degree means those angles are supplementary. So here A angle plus B angle will be 180 degree. So here angles, adjacent angles of a trapezium are supplementary. Adjacent angles of supplementary. Adjacent angles of a trapezium supplementary. Adjacent angles of trapezium are supplementary. So here adjacent angles A and D, the sum of these two angles are 180 degree. If you take B and C are the supplementary. So B and C angles will be 180 degree. Or if you take A and B, these A and B also adjacent angles. So A and B will be, if you take the sum, it will be supplementary. Supplementary means sum of two angles should be 180 degree. So now we learned about quadrilaterals, parallelogram, rectangle, square, rhombus, then trapezium. So next we move to the. So here the next one. So here the exercise 5.7. So first me say true or false. First one, each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. So now itself we learned about the properties of rectangle. So in the rectangle all the angles are right angle. Yes, it is a true statement. Right here, true. So the next one, the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal in length. Yes, the opposite sides. If you see the rectangle, opposite sides are equal in length. So here opposite sides, if I take AB, CD, so AB is 5 cm means BC also 5 cm. AD is 4 means BC also 4. So here the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal in length. Yes, it is true. So the next one, the diagonals of a square are perpendicular to one another. Yes, true. If you draw the square and here draw the diagonals, so here these are perpendicular to perpendicular. Perpendicular means it will bisect at 90 degree. So here true. Bisect. Okay, 90 degree. Next one. All the sides of a rhombus are of equal length. Yes, rhombus, all the sides are. Now itself we learned about the properties of rhombus. In the rhombus, all the sides are equal in length and the diagonals bisect. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So here true. So the next statement, all the sides of a parallelogram are of equal length. So if you see the properties of parallelogram, the parallelogram is a quadrilateral with a pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. So all the sides, here they are given all the sides. So the pair of parallel sides are equal in length, but here all the sides of the parallelogram are equal in length. It is a false statement. So next, the opposite sides of a trapezium are parallel. So here the opposite sides of a trapezium, only one pair of opposite sides are parallel in trapezium. But here the opposite sides, two pair of opposite sides will be there. Here only one pair is parallel, the another pair will not be parallel. So it is a false statement. So we will move to the next meaning. Second meaning, give reasons for the following. First one, a square can be thought of as a special rectangle. So what we can give the reason here? Rectangle. In the rectangle, all the opposite sides are equal in length. So if opposite sides are all the sides of a rectangle becomes equal in length, means then we can call it as a square. So a rectangle with all the sides equal in length with all the sides equal in length becomes a square. So this is the reason. Next one, a rectangle can be thought of as a special parallelogram. Yes, parallelogram. In parallelogram, pair of opposite sides are parallel to each other. If that pair becomes the angle made by that parallelogram as a right angle, then we can call it as a rectangle. So here parallelogram with each angle becomes rectangle. Yes, if the parallelogram, each angle, if it is a right angle, then it becomes a rectangle. Next, third one. So here, a square can be thought of as a special rhombus. So is rhombus with each angle, right angle, becomes a square. I said here, if it is rhombus, each angle is 90 degree. It is 90, 90, 90 and then 90. Then it is called as a square. In a rhombus, so all the sides are equal. If all the angles are 90 degree means it is called as a square. Next one, squares, rectangles, parallelogram are all quadrilaterals. What do you mean by a quadrilateral? A quadrilateral is a polygon made up of line segments or a closed curve made up of line segments. So here all these polygons are made up of line segments because square contains 4 line segments, rectangle also 4 line segments, parallelogram also a 4 line segment closed recurve. So next one, square is also a parallelogram. Yes, the opposite sides of the square are parallel, so it is called as a parallelogram. So square. So the opposite sides of the square, opposite sides are parallel. So opposite sides are parallel, so it is called as a parallelogram. So today we learnt about quadrilaterals and types of quadrilateral and exercise 5.7. So I hope you understood about the quadrilateral and kinds of quadrilaterals. We will meet in the next session of the class. Thank you dear students.